What's up, folks? We had a bit of a kerfuffle in the public media this week about gaming, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about it real quick. Um, this, as the title says, from Rock Paper Shotgun here, and shout out to Edwin Evans Thirlwell. What timing? Anyway, so Sven Vincke and clapped back at Ubisoft executive. Let's see who was the So it was Ubisoft's director of subscriptions, Philippe Tremblay. He said that players need to get comfortable with renting their games as a package rather than having and owning them an individual copy. Um, and just quick reaction to that, real quick. This is an interesting take. So obviously he's in charge of director of subscriptions, and I know a lot of people who are really, really happy with things like the Xbox Game Pass, right? So where you rent, you pay a monthly fee, and then you have a rotation of games that you can play while they're on, and then when they roll off, they're gone. Um, I don't like it personally. I understand that it's valuable for people who play a lot of games, right? Who want to try a lot of games but aren't really dedicated to beating them. And then for those people, when they try them, one of the best things about a trial basis is that then if you really like something, you could then buy it and have it on a permanent basis. I am not touching any game that requires a monthly subscription. That is the reason I didn't get into World of Warcraft, and I'm never going to do it. Yeah, that seems crazy. Live service games, games that require a monthly subscription, these really do feel like they're gaining too much popularity because they're very good ways to get money for developers, sure. But I'm used to playing games over a really long span of time. And when I think about like my formative, most favorite games of all time, the biggest ones for me are the ones that I had for years, right? So like single player games that I beat over and over again and really love, and still to this day will play out bits of the cutscenes and such in my head. Um, and then games that I could like hot seat with my brother or that he could play with me. So like games that I played long term. And the industry has gotten much, much faster. There's a fast turnaround. There's just more games out there, which to me actually drives me even further away from subscription services because they just kind of limit the time you have with each game. I would rather take time and really enjoy the games I want to play and be able to go back to them, right? There's some games out there that are actually extremely challenging to go back to, and that's very sad. So games like Red Alert 3, I can't even play. I own a physical copy and I can't even play it, and it's terrible. It's a really sad experience to have. So I am very glad that someone in the industry, Sven Vincke, commented on this and came back and said something along the lines of content will always be king. Here's the exact quote. It's going to be a lot harder to get good content if subscriptions becomes the dominant model and a select group gets to decide what goes to market and what not. And that still, we're seeing ultimately it's good for gaming to become a recognized business. It means more resources, more kind of opportunity there. But the downside, of course, is a very corporatization and profit focused of the industry. And that's something we've seen a lot as we've just kind of gotten on and as the industry has matured. So we're seeing a lot more corporate interest and a lot more people trying to get money first and foremost and give kind of crappy content. So we're talking about big things that come to mind for me. I'm going to go ahead and pick on them. Thinking about FIFA, right? That releases a new version of the game for what box price for that $70 every single year, which is just insane. And that's not even a subscription basis we're talking about. Maybe they could say like, oh, well, if you do a subscription, we'll give you a digital copy for $50 a month. They could do something like that, but that still is a money grab. They don't really give enough to justify that, I feel. Um, and the whole reason I talked about this, right? So I'll link to this article so you can read the whole thing. But the whole reason I'm bringing this up is it is an interesting conversation. But then also one of the key pieces is that Larian Studios, one of the most exciting things about Baldur's Gate having such a tremendous success is the kind of game it is, and that it gives a massive amount of credibility to Sven Vincke and then his team at Larian, because they really are a very different style of game development company, a very different style of team, and they've produced something incredible. And that's recognized as great, that's been a business success is great. And then it has the added significant bonus of allowing them and their team to be vocal advocates of their style on the public stage. They can say, hey, you built this great business model, you're doing great, here's this game you released, it sucks. And they would never say that, not in so many words, but yeah, that happens a lot. And so I really do appreciate this defense of quality of content. That's the same sort of thing with great movies, great TV shows. Like good stuff is good, and games should be no different. And I'm really glad that someone came out to say like, maybe not. And there was a voice in the room to counteract that point. That they're saying like, shrug, you should just play this as long as we let you, and then go away. Um, yeah, And of course, I think Felipe Tremblay's heart was in the right way, but I do still appreciate that someone was able to talk back to him with an equally large bullhorn, maybe even larger, because I'm guessing Sven Vincke is more famous than Felipe Tremblay. But anyway, that's it. It went from kind of an eye roll about the original comment from Ubisoft to kind of like, yeah, thank you, Sven. Appreciate it. Good man. And that's it. Thank you, Sven.